It's a really, really good question. I think if you look at it historically, without making this part too long, what most people now refer to as behavioral science is what they mean by behavioral economics. So it's a deviation from neoclassical economics, so economics as people know it, into a science or a form of economics that incorporates a lot of behavioral science, meaning psychology in this case. So that is one way to approach this field, where it flows out of economics and just has a whole bunch of different assumptions. And this is now how we model behavior. This is how we design experiments. And this is how we assume that people behave. These are the core assumptions that we make. That is behavioral economics. Now, behavioral science in this regard is much more of an umbrella term, which essentially captures all the sciences that study human behavior. So you would see economics as a behavioral science. Psychology would also be a behavioral science, but so would be marketing, management, and a lot of the humanities, which most people wouldn't associate with behavioral sciences, such as anthropology and sociology. They would fall under that umbrella as well. Well, we've come from, I mean, how far do you want to go back historically? I think initially, so everything comes from philosophy, right? That's where every kind of science, every field of study comes from. And then economics has had a very long journey towards wanting to be recognized as a science. They don't want to be recognized as, a soft science. They want to be a hard science, which led them to in the 1920s cut out everything that had to do with psychology, human emotion, and they want to be a formalized science or hard science in terms of modeling, mathematics, etc. Now, from the 50s and 60s onwards, a lot of academics were not incredibly keen on this development, both from the economic side as well as from the psychology side. The psychologists wanted back in, and the economists had serious concerns about what was going on, some of them at least. So throughout that development, throughout the 70s and 80s, we obviously saw amazing work being done by Vernon Smith in experimental economics, and of course Kahneman and Tversky, amongst many others, in the 70s and 80s, laying the groundwork of, say, prospect theory, for example. This has slowly started to build and become a recognized academic discipline of its own. And then when it had kind of solidified its academic groundings, there actually were a lot of applications for the field as well. And this is what we've now mainly seen through the early 2000s, which is now blossoming throughout, where we see applied behavioral science. So do I think the field is fully mainstream? No, but we are working on it.